The collapse of the existing systems are inevitable. Inevitable. Everything has a cycle. The planet has cycles. It has gone through ice ages and temperatures that are way beyond what we have now, but we sort of forget all of that. What cycles are we going through right now? Things that don't work collapse. Eventually, if it's built on sand, like some of our buildings here in Florida, they collapse. It's just a matter of time. If it's not working and it's not for the good of all, yes, you'll have some conflict and instability in those foundations. This is what's happening now. And more people are refusing to go along with it, but it takes one important step, one important thing in order for it to happen. You want to know what that is? I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to share with you this unbelievably powerful book that was banned over 100 years ago because of its power. We're going to use this to change things in a way I think you're going to love. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. This is the voice that you hold that can change everything. When we support the channels of self-empowerment, of collaboration, community, compassion, we'll live in a world where all are welcome and there is abundance, health, joy, and a way of life that we have never really lived here, at least as far as I know, that has allowed us to use all of the challenges of being human in a way that's beautiful. We break through the fear. So if you subscribe, I'd be so appreciative. We're going to use the Master Key System, and I'm going to tell you right now what has to be done in order for these systems to complete their cycles of, let's just say, dissolving. I don't like the word collapse. Dissolving. You cannot participate in them anymore if you want to see the change. It's like saying, you know, banging your head against the wall. Ow! 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 You're still banging your head against the wall. Oh yeah, that's right, it hurts, but you keep doing it, and that's what we've been doing. We complain about all the things that are going on out there, but how much are you participating in it? And I'm not talking about the banks, I'm not telling you to pull out your money, all the crazy stuff. By the way, I've been hearing this for years. It hasn't happened yet. It was supposed, last October, that's it was going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. You're not going to see the drastic things that are being predicted that just get a lot of views on YouTube. Yeah, some things will happen, but I think there's going to be transitions happening more than drastic events. Now, there might be some cataclysmic Earth events. I don't know what she's up to, but we're contributing to that too. You cannot participate in that which you know you want to change, you want to see change, okay? If you want health, then be the health mindset. If you want wealth, be the wealth mindset. It is a power you hold right now. You have to be it. But if you're choosing something different, then you're being the lack and the illness. And so we look at cause and effect and say, well, why is this happening? Well, I must be participating in that which I don't like. I am actually the creator of that. But herein lies the challenge. We don't believe that. We don't think we're doing it. Now, if you look back at every step along the way, I always say, let's reverse engineer your life. When I teach Breakthrough Fear, those of you who are on my list, I've got some new cool stuff coming out. When I teach Breakthrough Fear, the first thing that we do, and I did in my last video, is say, why am I feeling this way? I'm running a story. No, but it's not because they did something or this is happening. No, it's because I'm running a story about that. I don't find value in it. I don't find purpose in it. I feel like things are chaotic, that you know, Source has made a mistake. Source doesn't make a mistake because we are guiding and conducting every part of it. And what we did when we came here, is we agreed to participate in something so drastically different to the actual source, the ultimate source of what we are, that can be those things and knows it in order to know itself, right? You don't know you're a fish till somebody pulls you out and you're gasping, on oxygen and dying. You realize, I didn't know this existed, but now the ocean's looking pretty darn good. And that's all it is. It doesn't make it right nor wrong, it just is. So today, I'm going to talk to you about the collapse of all systems that has to happen. It is inevitable because, like banging your head on the wall, eventually you'll start bleeding. It's going to happen until you stop banging your head. Well, we haven't stopped, let's just say, participating in the systems that have caused homelessness and illness and all the other things. And we keep patching things that actually contribute more to the problem. And it goes into what I call the tipping point. Now, if you've read Breakthrough Fear, thank you for those of you who've purchased the book. I'm getting the feedback. It's been amazing. Breakthrough Fear is demonstrating to you that all of these things are amazing and powerful, and that you don't have limits, but you are playing a role. And so when you become comfortable with it, you can move forward and triumph in ways you never imagined possible. I started to read the Master Key System. This book was banned 100 years ago because the institutions and religions knew back then and still know the power we wield with, you call it law of attraction, I call it manifestation. You don't attract anything, you become that. You have to be the mindset of that which you desire to be. You have to be it immediately, not wish it out here to come to you. You have to shift into it. Well, when people started to disclose these secrets to the general public, the church and state and whoever out there that already knows all this stuff banned it because it was dangerous. Why? Because we started to rely on ourselves and our own manifestation powers, not somebody who told me that if I confessed, to some man in a booth, I'm not Catholic by the way, that it'd be okay if I said Hail Mary 10 times or whatever. I don't know how that works. It's sort of ridiculous, isn't it? Well, it's always connected to human beings. When we eliminated that and we went straight to the source and said, it's not blasphemous to think that you're a creator. It's actually a privilege. And the beauty of what we are is being the creators and to celebrate that and use it. Because it's just the power of one. There's no judgment about that or separation. But when we think somehow we're doing something wrong, we're separating ourselves from the one. And that's impossible because everything is one energy, just expressing itself in seemingly individual adventures and journeys and expressions. We look like human beings. We're not human beings. We're eternal. We know by now, if you've ever read a near-death experience, that the stories are amazing and the first thing they feel is euphoric. The other thing, too, is the illusion continues onward even after death of the body because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It always was, it always will be. That means that everything that exists is past, present, future, because there's no such thing as time. It's all existing as one thing. Well, we like to separate things. We can't even comprehend that. We have to have timelines and individuals and labels and names, and that's the lower density of the human ego that requires that to try and understand it. Well, we can't. So when you let go of that, you go into what I call as the knowing. I think that's the last chapter in my book. The knowing is when you actually get it, that you can't know these things, that no one person has these answers, and so you just let it go, and you're content with just seeing everything as beautiful and purposeful, and you don't have to know the purpose. But it all has its own divine meaning that it's going to play out. And no matter what it looks like, your response to all of that is what is most important. Am I responding in judgment or separation, or they're supposed to do something different, or you should have never done that? That's on me, not you. So whatever you do, you have to deal with. But it's my response and thoughts after that that determines my individual energy field, future, and illusion. Yeah, it's going to affect all of us. So I'm going to read the Master Key System. This is really amazing. So I'm going to just give you something in an introduction that I want you to know, because we think about these people who have power as being evil. These same powers exist for absolutely everyone, not just them. They're not evil. It's how they use the power. So you can use this power in any way you want to. It could be for money or, power. Okay, the power doesn't judge. If you use it for health and community and giving and enjoying your own, beautiful material life, it takes on a different frequency. But the power is the power. No matter what frequency it's on, it is possessed by all. It's impossible not to be, because everything and no thing is the one, the energy field. So I'm going to read this from the introduction. It is Silicon Valley's secret that almost every entrepreneur who made a fortune in recent years did so by studying the words of Mr. Hanel, who penned this over 80 years ago. So that's actually about 100 years now, because this book's been out for a while. It teaches the ultimate principles, causes, effects, and laws that underlie all attainment and success in this book. I'm going to give you the link here. It's my affiliate link, by the way. I'm going to give you the link in the description. If you want to purchase this book, you'll have it for the rest of your life. It's a system that teaches the ultimate principles, causes, effects, and laws that underlie all attainment and success. I'm reading that again purposely. When you want to attain something, the Master Key System will show you how to get it. Really? Yeah, but here, that belief, if you don't believe it, it works. It works for you exactly the way that it teaches, and that is, if you're thinking it, you just created it. Mind is creative, and conditions, environment, and all experiences in life are the result of our habitual or predominant mental attitude. This is why programming is so difficult to get through, because we believe these things and it's so deeply imprinted that we're battling with those beliefs and the way we think things are. And that is the most difficult part, is to get through this. I tell people, break through the fear. It's going to be difficult at first because it's different. You're the different person. You don't have to speak of these things. The attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, all possession depends upon our method of thinking. So where do the thoughts come from? Beliefs. You have to believe something to think it. I wouldn't think something if I didn't believe it. Ugh, they're evil people. Oh, right? I'm thinking that. I have a belief. Where did it come from? It's programming. Programming, we're told right, wrong. Okay, I'm going to read one more. This is true because we must be. We must be before we can do. And we can do only to the extent which we are. And what we are depends upon what we think. So you can think. So I told you this is why, vision boards and mantras, they don't work if you don't believe it. All right? They can help. You can say the words. But people say, it's not working. I said, because you don't believe it. You think that if I'm going to think this, and if I say this other thing, this power out there is going to do something for me, and that couldn't be further from the truth. That thought is doing it, not the mantra or the thing out there. The thought is it. All right? I want you to get this straight. If you want to do this, you are not separate from anything. The thought is creating, creating, creating. Not, okay, I doubt it, but if I say this mantra of, he did this or she did this, if I do that, I'll get it too. No, they weren't just doing that. They were. You have to be that. They knew it. I knew I was going to have a movie. First book, somebody said, lady, you've never even written a book. And you think it's going to be a movie? Get in line. Yeah, a few months later, hey, Landria, producer wants to do your book. I wasn't shocked. I knew. I just knew it. All right? And this can be you. So how do we get past that? Well, first of all, come on over. I do have deprogramming. Breakthrough Fear takes you past it. And one of you, I want to thank the subscriber who said that they've been in therapy for years and that they've got more progress with my teachings. And my students, many of them have been to therapists for years, most of their life, have most of them within, weeks, turned around everything, because we don't analyze you. We look at what's happening and we change our story about it. Not just to change the story, we actually understand it now. And that's belief. And when you go into that belief, you free up all of the negativity that's been holding you back, keeping you back here, that is not manifesting those things you desire and is so focused on the negativity that you don't realize you're creating it and you're in a loop. I try to get you out of the loop. It's like you have to recognize you're 100% the person participating in it. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, what's happening out there, you are in control of that thought and that belief. So, I hope you enjoyed today's little tidbit of Master Key System, because the systems will collapse. It's cause and effect, and the belief systems of the general public is changing. We're not seeing the pharmaceuticals as the solution anymore. We're not seeing the institutions as making the right decisions anymore. We understand that they're serving others other than the collective, the community. And we're realizing that instead of blame, that we're going to have to take responsibility and be the change makers. So we will now be inventors and creators. And those of you who have come into my Digital Explorers, this is a free webinar, we're creating online businesses that are changing the world. How? We're doing things that you were told that you could never do, and we're creating real businesses, a real one, with a strategy, something you could actually sell at some point. But what we're doing has so much purpose and positive impact. You're going to feel so sure. Just like I said, Elon Musk and all those guys, they love what they're doing. They're so focused on what that is. They have passion behind it. Whether you agree with what they do or not, we're not here to judge it. But it's working because they believe, have passion in it, and they won't stop until they achieve their goals, because they know it's already done. The Bible says that. Know that it's done, not wish for it, attract it. Say a mantra. It says, what I desire, it's done, because the probability exists. And just because it hasn't shown up in your timeline at this moment doesn't mean it won't, because then that's the ego taking over, saying, well, it has to happen next month, or can I do this in a week? Or it's no, let it go, let it go. You'll know when you get there. It'll show up. You go, yep, and you'll feel it. You'll feel so in alignment with it. You will not question anything anymore. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you. We're going to talk more and more about what's happening here, the transition that we're going through that is really happening now, not something we're going to talk about in the future. It is happening. And then eventually you're going to see certain things just dissolve or collapse, but new things will come in. They're not going to all be perfect, but they will be the stepping stone to a new world. It's happening right now. It's not alien craft coming to pick us up. It's right here. We're just shifting into something completely beautiful, a higher frequency. And that means your reality will completely change because you just created it. You made a different choice. It's that simple. Get the Master Key System and I'll see you there. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.